it's Lori again, and welcome back to my kitchen. Hey, today I want to share another amazing recipe that is authored by Amber May, who is the founder of the Snug Canning Group on Facebook. That is SNUG, Canning to Preserve Our Future. The recipe that I would like to share with you today from Amber is for roasted corn salsa. I absolutely love this stuff. I made it for the first time a couple of years ago, and it really quickly became one of my favorite things on my pantry shelves. And I really think that you will enjoy it also. Now, the wonderful thing about this recipe is it's really actually very versatile. The roasted corn part of it is you can make this recipe really, really special if you take the time and grill your vegetables before you throw the salsa together. So peel your corn cobs, slice up your peppers, and just brush them lightly with a little bit of olive oil and put them on your charcoal grill just until they're just slightly charred. You know, you don't want them completely black, but have just those wonderful charred lines from the grill on there, and it just gives this a wonderful smoky flavor. And with your tomatoes, just go ahead and slice those and put them onto a tinfoil lined cookie sheet in your oven and just broil them until they're at I guess the level of charred or doneness that you want, and then just save all the liquid and stuff from that tomato pan to add to your salsa. But really grilling these items, these vegetables, really adds just such an awesome dimension to this salsa recipe. And I normally do roast them, but I'll be really honest, today I just don't have the time nor the energy to go out and get my grill going and grill all the vegetables. You can do this just from a raw state. You don't have to grill them, but grilling really adds just a special dimension to this. So if you choose to grill it, go ahead and do that. And if you just want to do it raw, like what I am doing, that is absolutely fine also. Now, I do want to make two special notes. One note is that you don't necessarily have to use fresh corn. You can use frozen corn in this recipe. And the other thing is that your tomatoes can either be ripe red tomatoes or you can use green tomatoes. I have used green tomatoes in the past, and it adds a wonderful dimension also. So you have a few choices. Now, another thing that I will say is that in her recipe, and I will read that to you in just a minute, in her recipe, it calls for both red bell pepper and green bell pepper. I don't have any red bell peppers, and my tomatoes that I'm adding today are red, and so that's gonna add a really pretty red color throughout this salsa. And so I just went with just nothing but green bell peppers today. And your measurements don't have to be exact on this also, okay? If you have a little bit more corn than what I do or what she calls for, or a few more onions or a few more peppers, it's okay. As long as you have enough brine to cover your vegetables comfortably, you're going to be just fine, and you can kind of adjust this in your own way. So I will go ahead and read the recipe and then we'll get started, okay? All right, so roasted corn salsa by Amber May. 18 ears of fresh corn, which is approximately 10 cups when you cut it off of the cob, okay? So 10 cups of corn kernels or 18 ears of fresh. 7.5 pounds of tomatoes, approximately 10 cups diced. 2 large red onions, 2 red bell peppers, 2 green bell peppers. 6 to 8 jalapeno peppers. Now that's an option, okay? If you don't like hot and spicy, you don't have to add those jalapenos. I'm cutting down my jalapenos today, just to let you know. I'm only adding 3. I like a little bite, but I don't want it overly spicy. So I just cut it down to 3 rather large jalapeno peppers today. 5 garlic cloves, minced, 3.5 cups vinegar, 2/3 cup lime juice. Freshly squeezed is ideal, but yes, you can use the bottled stuff. I'm using bottled stuff today. 1.5 cups sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, and 1 bunch of cilantro chopped, which comes up to 1 cup measurement. Now, here's another time where I am going to adjust the recipe a little bit. I am one of those people that just really don't care for cilantro at all. If there's cilantro in something, it just lends kind of a taste of soap to me. You know, there's 2 types of people. There's people that absolutely adore cilantro, and then there's people who just think that it tastes like soap. And I'm one of those people that think that it does not taste good. And so I am omitting the cilantro altogether. Another thing to know is that when canning with cilantro, cilantro can increase in flavor. It can become rather potent stuff. So you can adjust that measurement of cilantro if you wish, and reduce it a little bit to your taste or your liking. Now, since I'm not adding cilantro to mine today, I'm going to add a nice handful of just dried parsley. All right, so to get started, if you're using frozen corn, go ahead and use your frozen corn. If you're using fresh corn, get it all cut off of your cobs. Now, I have a quick and easy way of cutting corn off the cob, and I shared that last year when I was making a video on how to just can just plain corn. And we'll put that link down in the description of this video if you want to see how I do that. But I do want to remind you that everything about sweet corn is usable, okay? Save every part of your sweet corn. So these cobs, they can be boiled, just barely cover them with water, and you can boil these cobs to make a wonderful corn broth for use in soups or chowders. You can also make corn cob jelly, and I also have a video of corn cob jelly, and we will put that down in the description, that link down in the description of this video today also. But there's a couple more things about sweet corn that I want to remind you of. One thing is you can save the husks and dry them flat. Just separate them and dry them flat for, what is the name of them? You know, those little Mexican things that are wrapped. They're just delicious. Tamales. Boy, that was a senior moment, you guys. Tamales. Anyway, you can dry your corn husks to later use for tamales. And another thing that I will send you on a journey about is corn silk, okay? This is all the corn silk from these ears of corn, and I am going to dehydrate this. And corn silk, now you need to look this up yourself, okay? Because I am not a medical professional, and I don't claim to be, but this is one of those homeopathic type things that maybe you're not aware of. Corn silk is really wonderful for bladder and kidney health, all right? So you can dehydrate it and you can use it in a tea, or you can cover your fresh corn silk with vodka and make a tincture, and that tincture is also good for gout, all right? So you look those things up yourself and just explore that, all right? Look further into that. So anyway, I've got my corn all cut off of my cobs, and I suppose I better get my camera down here where you can see what I'm doing. And I have got it into a stock pot, okay? And I have just simply cubed up my fresh tomatoes. I have diced up all of my red onion, and I've also diced up my green bell pepper. And all we're going to do is toss all of this wonderful fresh goodness together into our stock pot. And you know what, guys? I forgot to grab my garlic, so I've got to get my garlic. Just 1 second, please. Okay, so I don't have fresh garlic today. I am using just prepared minced garlic. So the equivalent of 5 cloves of minced garlic. And of course, I am not afraid of garlic at all. As y'all know, Yeah, the vampires are never going to get me because, boy, we eat a lot of garlic in our house. So 5 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of salt, 3½ cups of vinegar, 2/3 cup of lime juice. Now, if you have fresh squeezed, go ahead and use that. If not, just go ahead and use the bottled lime juice. Well, look at that. One of those little bottles was 2/3 cup, exactly on the nose. So, nice little tip. I've never used this brand before. I found this at my local Hy-Vee store the other day. It's Delalo, and it looks like really good stuff. Maybe it's just a packaging ploy. I don't know, but we'll see. And then I'm going to put in, now instead of the cilantro, I'm going to put in a really good handful of parsley, because this really adds kind of some fun little green fleckies in your salsa, and it does add flavor too. And then we're going to do 1½ cups of sugar. Got a big old chunk in there, that's all right. That'll cook right down. 1 1/2. All right, now, so today, since I didn't roast or grill my veggies, I am electing to put in just a little bit of liquid smoke for that grilled flavor without all the grill work. So now I have the LEM brand from Fleet Farm, my local Fleet Farm. This stuff is really potent stuff. Please, if you're going to do the liquid smoke, be familiar with your product, because liquid smoke is generally very, very potent stuff, and you don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to put in about 1/2 capful, maybe close to a capful, and that is all I'm going to do. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and turn on our heat, and we are going to simmer this for around 20 minutes or so. So we'll give that a stir. If I can find some spoons. There is one. We'll give it a stir and get it on low heat to start with. Now, if you, like me, have put in a lot of extra veggies in this, what I would like you to do is maybe consider making twice the amount of brine to cover them, okay? And I can tell I'm going to need some brine. Now, your vegetables do add their own juice as it cooks, and so your tomatoes and your onions and your peppers will add a little juice to this. But in the end, if you do not have enough brine to cover your volume of vegetables, then just go ahead and make more of that brine with the vinegar, the lime juice, and the sugar, and that should be good for you. So I'm going to get this stirred, going to get it simmering, and we're just going to simmer this for approximately 20 minutes, okay? All right, so we will be back in just a little while. Okay, so I've allowed my salsa to simmer for approximately 15 minutes, and now it's time to go ahead and get this jarred up. Now, in the meantime, while this was simmering, I did prepare my canner, and since there is vinegar and lime juice in this recipe, this is safe for a very short hot water bath process, because the vinegar and the lime juice raises the acidity level to a safe zone for just a short hot water bath period. But you are working with a hot product, you want a hot canner, and you can either hot water bath this, just a traditional hot water bath, or you can steam can these, and I am going to be steam canning because y'all know that's my favorite thing to do. So we're just going to take a slotted spoon, and we're just going to fill our pint jars with our solids from our salsa pan here. And you want to get these up to approximately 1/2 inch headspace, okay? I'm going to settle those just a little bit and get just a few more pieces in there. And then what you're going to do after you're up to that 1/2 inch headspace, then you're going to go ahead and just take some of your liquid out of the pan. and fill your jar with that liquid from the pan to the same 1/2 inch headspace. I'm going to give that just a little tap to get any air bubbles out. Add just a little bit more brine to that. And then we are going to wipe our rim, just like any other canning project. Make sure that you're down here where you can see what's going on. There. Wipe our rim of our jar and place a flat end ring. Fingertip tight and into that hot canner. All right, so we'll do another one here. Lovely, lovely salsa. I suppose I better have my funnel on there, guys. Boy, my head is just going a million miles an hour today in about 15 different directions, and I guess I'm not keeping my thoughts very straight. And this is how accidents happen in the kitchen. When you're really, really busy with produce, a lot of us get a little bit overdone and tired, and that is when accidents happen. So I'm a prime example. Slow down and think about what you're doing. Get that juice up to the same 1/2 inch headspace. Give it a little tap to get any of those air bubbles out. A nice wipe to make sure the rim is clean, and your flat end ring. All right, one more, and then I'll just complete the rest off cam. So a slotted spoon to scoop your solids into your jar. Settle them in there just a little bit, and then fill to the same 1/2 inch headspace with the juice from the pan. A good vinegar and sugar brine. And lime juice. Oh, that adds such good flavor. Wipe the rim of your jar. Place your lid and ring. And into the hot water bath it goes. All right, I'm going to continue filling my jars and getting them in the canner, and then I'll be back. All right, so I completed filling the rest of my jars, and I've got 10 of them in my canner, and I also have 3 more waiting to go in for the next batch. So I got a total of 13 pints of product off of this recipe. Now yours is going to vary, possibly a little less, possibly a little bit more. It just depends on, you know, how exact your measurements are, or if you put a little bit more corn in there, or maybe a little bit more onion in there. Your volume may vary just a little bit. But because of, like I said, the vinegar and the the lime juice in this recipe, it raises the acidity. It's a pickled product, and so we are going to get by with just a very short 15-minute hot water bath or steam canning period for pint-sized jars of roasted corn salsa. I'm using my stovetop pressure canner as a steam canner today. I do have a video on steam canning if you're interested in learning how to do that, but I'm just going to bring my stovetop pressure canner to a vent. I am not going to place my weight. I'm going to vent for the entire 15-minute period time, and we will be done. So I will come back and show you the amazing results of this corn salsa. Okay, my steam canning, my 15-minute steam can period is over, and I've allowed my canner to cool off. I just cracked it open a little bit. I allowed it to cool off just a little bit longer, and now I feel it's safe for me to remove the lid and bring the jars out, and we won't have any siphoning issues because we allowed the canner to cool down properly. Alrighty, so we will reveal these absolutely lovely cans of corn relish. How beautiful is this? This stuff is so delicious. I have been so pleased with this in the last couple of years that I have made it. Like I said, it's just absolutely one of my absolute favorite things. All right, I will get these all unloaded here in another minute. I'll tip you up here. There we go. Let me get my my oven mitt on here so that we can pick one of these up and hold it for you. Just right out of the fresh hot canner. Look at how absolutely gorgeous this relish is. You guys, this is so delicious. It really, truly is. I use this relish in so many ways. We put it on tacos. We put it in burritos. I put it in Tex-Mex recipes and Southwest recipes. I've even drained the brine off of this and put it in chili. This is really versatile stuff, really wonderful stuff. And I think you're going to be as excited and you're going to love it as much as I do. It's just delicious. And it's a quick and easy way of canning large amounts of corn because the process time is so much shorter. And because it's so versatile, I actually do can quite a bit of this just for use in dishes, not necessarily just to use as a relish. This is really good just right out of the jar too, just as a side dish, or if you dip tortilla chips in it. But it's so versatile in dishes. It's just one of my favorite ways now to can corn for use in other recipes. That short 15-minute time period is just an incredible time saver when you're talking canning corn. You know, canning just plain corn, if you don't have the vinegar in there, it's 55 minutes pressure can, or 3.5 hours for a pint of hot water bathing it. So the addition of that vinegar and the lime juice shortens it up to a 15-minute process. And really, truly, you guys, this stuff is so versatile. I know you're going to love it. So once again, thank you to Amber May for sharing all of her wonderful recipes with all of us. I'm glad that she has given me permission to share it with you. Come join us on Snug if you haven't already. Thank you for joining me again today and spending your time with me. God bless you all, and happy canning, everybody.